I'm a big fan of like the 80-20 rule, like what 20% of what you're doing, is getting 80% of your results. And as a big artist like yourself, Dustin, I was wondering, in looking back on your career, what would you say would be the 20% of the things you guys went after that achieved maybe 80% of, your success?
It's really interesting. D-Rock, his head is falling off his body right now because today's Daily V is all about like kind of what matters.
Yeah.
And the first question, serendipitous. Literally as I walked in here, D-Rock's like, "Hey, can you ask him like what matters?" I'm like, "Whatever, fucking D-Rock." Let me do my thing. But so for like it's just funny how the universe works. I mean, basically in essence, the question here is like, what are those couple things that mattered?
That mattered, and as of like currently or coming up?
Well, I don't know. What do you think? Like, what were the things that really kind of, when he looks back, were the 20% of things that he did that really drove 80% of the results, right?
Yes, yeah.
I will say this, and it's finding the balance of being a cover artist or your own artist, and really how I found that was because it's two different worlds, right? I mean, you can make a great living being a cover band. So figuring out, do I want to do covers and play corporate shows and weddings? It's awesome, pays great. Or do I have something to say as a songwriter? And for me, I had something to say, and so my songwriting and
was it seductive? Did you see like a path of like, oh, you can get tricked into this because people know the songs? I've got a good voice, and away we go.
Absolutely,
I see.
There's that gratification of holy crap, I'm rocking this crowd. It's Jason Aldean's rocking the crowd. You're just singing the song,
Interesting. One thing that I want to tell my audience, what was interesting, what went through my brain just now is it's the biggest point I make. It's funny to have Dunk here. It's like we've had this conversation once or twice. I always try to convince the people, and this is not about Dunk, just to clarify it, especially where I'm about to go. A lot of the things that people do to make a quick buck and the cheap score and to make dollars are really in essence the same exact talent that you can make the big dollars and the big impact. It's just that you weren't willing to be patient and you needed instant gratification, so you cut the corners and you left so much business and so much legacy and so much awesome on the table because you needed a Ferrari.
Right.
I know that.
Yes,
you need a new headband.
I would say,
yeah. I like it. I'm kidding. So go ahead. That mental decision.
That decision.
What about a little bit more tactical, right? Because now a lot of people are watching, like, cool, I made that decision. What about a black and white thing that you say, wow, that action brought me a lot more ROI? Like, was it just playing? Like playing for free? One thing I'm fascinated about, playing for free. Like a lot of people who have no career think they're fancy and aren't willing to play for free when they don't realize the exposure to 13 people is more valuable than they're playing at that point in their career.
It was this. It was. I realized, stop blaming something else. Why, write the hit songs. Go win. Why aren't you getting meetings with this label? Well, there's a reason. And so that's really what it was. It was figuring out that, hey, these frat stars and and whoever else on college campus are going to rock out because it's their party and they have to, but it's a different world. And it was just realizing that stop blaming
right,
everyone else.
It's your fault. Go ahead.
Stop blaming the market. Right,
the market always knows.
The market always knows, and that's really what it was, and that's why it took. I'm literally a 10-year grind to get a door to open.
Overnight success, right?
To get a door to open, to get the right door to open. It took 10 years.
While I feel like I'm fresh from my vacation, I'm gonna say something else that I think a lot of people need to hear. We're talking about the market being right. You're more than welcome not to conform to what you see the market is responding to. As a matter of fact, it's your strength not to, because what the market likes right now is always different than what the market's about to like. And I think that a lot of people, when they hear from an artistic standpoint, whether singing or art or literature, they're like, well, I don't want to be commercial, or I don't want to give up my principles or things I believe in just to make it. You're more than welcome to do that.
Absolutely.
What you need to understand, and by the way, I did this. It was not cool to curse on stage when you're a businessman. It was not cool to not wear a suit, and it was not cool to be not a good student. Like, I did all the wrong things, other than who the hell knew that 20 years later, that's what a lot of entrepreneurs would look like.
Right.
And so, but that worked out for me. It may not work out for you. I just get mad at people that are mad at the market. Like, everybody's so dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
and really, from a songwriting point, man, you know, the songs that are on the radio right now are 2-3 years old. And that's what's tough about music, you know, is
but that's where
it's
the
special
radio
too.
Is that why you're excited that not that you're mad at the radio? It's still a very important part, but it must be nice to have, whether it's streaming or whether vlogs putting music in songs or whatever it may be. It's just nice that, you know, not 13 to 29 people now control shit.
Right. It's wonderful.
Yes, I'm
and
sure.
that instant gratification and you know, just being able to even when it comes to show, you know, our live shows, you know, is having socials now and that feedback. You know, I can get on
huge.
30 minutes after our show.
That's right.
And go, okay, that moment tonight, whenever I did this, whenever I said that, that's what made people get their phone out and post.
When I speak and I go directly to the airport, now I'm even busier than ever. But for about 5 or 6 years, every time I gave a speech and was going to the airport, I would reply to every single person that talked about that keynote on Twitter. That depth. First of all, you talked about the most important part, the insight. Oh, that's getting people to react. I actually genuinely believe that is the most important part, even more than the thing I'm in love with, which is the engagement to deepen that relationship. They both really, really, really matter, obviously.
Yeah,
Eric, thanks so much for calling, man.
Thank you, guys.